Hey, this is Rennie for rakeback.com, and today we'll be focusing on betsizing and general post-flop play tendencies, and how to vary our bet sizes depending on, well, firstly post-flop, and then on certain board textures post-flop. So generally for pre-flop, I'm going to be opening 2.5x until for full ring. I'll min raise the cutoff and the button. Don't ever do this. Don't post your blinds without it's been your turn, but just for the video, I'll do that so we can get some more hands in. And from the button, you really want to be opening, probably definitely, start from 50% of hands, and depending on opponents, you can really open much wider depending on what their fold to steals are and how tight they're playing. So on this board here, yeah, we've got top pair, but much prefer to be checking this one back for pot control because he's going to have a lot of draws, and it's not a strong enough hand if we get some heat. So this guy here, on my HUD stats, this is fold to small blind and fold to big blind. It's like really tight, so we can pretty much raise ATC there. ATC means any two cards, if you didn't already know that. Yeah, I don't think there's much point betting again. Like, this seems pretty nitty, but I think it's definitely the best play because if he's got any piece to that with straight draws and whatnot, we're gonna have to fold a lot of the time. And now we can bet here for value. And yeah, he's okay. He had the straight. So make sure too when you're playing that you always take notes of your opponents. So I've gone for a half pot size here bet because it's a pretty dry board. He's going to be out of position, so he's going to fold a lot. And the other thing it does too, by betting that small on the flop, he can float too, and then we can bomb a lot of turns. But unfortunately, this isn't a good turn card to barrel here, as it connects too heavily with the board. So if we had any diamond or some high cards, probably a jack or higher, I'd be betting. Yeah, he's checked to us again. I think here, if we bet on the larger side, we could get credit because I think he'd lead a strong hand here, And I doubt he's going to. I doubt he'll look us up with a 9 if that's what he does have. Okay, so I've got this guy tagged as a fish, so we're going to raise up ace king. And so I think around 8 to 10 big blinds for a free bet here is pretty standard. Well, considering him min raised, if he opened for 3x, then I'd be making it around 12. Okay, so we've got an overpair against a fish and I think a short stacker. So virtually when you got a fish, you want to be betting on the big side because they don't take note of bet sizing tells. And on this trap board here, we just need to bet half pot because we're either way ahead or way behind here. And I'm going to check back because we're out of position here and we don't have a backdoor draw. If there was a club on the board, I'd probably be betting it. And that probably seems tight. I think this player will float us a lot. See, already in the small sample, he doesn't like to fold. And he's in position. I know it's an ace-x board, but it's not 2008, so I think this guy's a regular, and we'll just give him credit. Like if I'm in position, I'm betting that 99% of the time. But just the fact that we're out of position, you don't want to be putting money into the pot, bluffing out of position. Get a new table up. Okay, it's just simple, get it in. And take the money down. Okay, there's no point betting this flop because we can't get value for anything. If once he calls, we're going to be ahead. Like the only hand that we beat that he'll call with is like Queen Jack or Jack 10 type. So yeah, we're pretty much just looking to check this one down. Except now, but I'm just going to bet really small here because he would have let out if he's got an ace. So just hope he try and call with the king. This guy hasn't free bet a hand before. He's on the short stack, so trivial fold with the king queen. Like I'd be getting it in really tight there. Like I might even probably queens and ace king plus. I like to open suited aces from all positions. Sort of, I guess, just to balance, and we can make the nuts with the nut flush. And okay, maybe it's about $4. Basically just want him to call here or make him shove. You don't want to just bomb when he's raised that much. You don't want to bomb it to like $8 or something. And here, like I was saying before, we got a fish. We just want to be putting going close to pot size to get value. Now, most players will tell you, you're always betting this for value, but I find against these fish, they're going to bluff it. They're going to have a chance of bluffing it. And whatever he calls our bet with, he's going to be betting himself. So I like to check shove here. And on this river here, I think we can jam. Okay, he's made it small. Okay, we're going to raise to half his stack. Okay, so here top two ace king. I think that's just a cool up because we're never folding our two pair against him. Snap this off and he's got two queens. Here I just fold the free freeze. We're out of position, so calling is the worst thing you want to be doing in the small blind. And there's no real reason to free bet because it does. Once it plays horrible post flop, because obviously there's only really two outs we can take it. We can win the pot with, and we don't have blockers to anything that we would be bluff blockers to our opponent's hand. To what I'd be calling there with pocket pairs is probably eights. I'd start with eights plus. From the big blind, if they're min raising the button, I'm probably calling all pocket pairs from the big blind only to a mid raise. Just for the huge implied odds. But in general, though, they're pretty hard, the small pocket players to mid pocket players to play out of position. Okay, I'm going to call here. I thought about free betting because he's a fish, and to free betting full value. But this guy looks a bit aggro, so he might have squeezed. But flat is probably the best player. Keeps his whole range in. This guy's got a low turn c-bet, so we're going to float here with our overcards. Okay, we just fold now. We don't need to get creative. Okay, so those are some simple bet sizing plays that you should take note of. And that's all for now.